Hey guys, welcome to JayWalk Media. This is Matt Miller, and watch what happens when this woke college kid thinks he actually has Ben Shapiro beat. He comes prepared, he comes with this whole strategy to take Ben Shapiro down in front of all these people. But watch what Ben Shapiro does. Honestly, the kid should have known better. But before we jump in, I want to ask you guys to please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you for your support. Now let's jump into the video.
One of your points you very strongly make is that it's unfair for people like me to label you as like a racist or a bigot, just as like a smear tactic. But have you ever acknowledged that like maybe it's not a smear tactic, but it's based on things you've said? So like for example, like on the Israel-Palestine conflict, you called the Arabs. Yeah, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to presume. Yeah. So like you say.
I've written several full columns about it.
Yeah.
I've talked about how people don't read the follow-up tweets. I wrote a column.
I've read some of the tweets, and the tweets were just as bad. I mean, you say a lot of things that are just like racist, right? But then if I call you a racist, then you defend it by saying like I didn't read enough, right? So that's what I was going to say before.
So give me okay, fine. So give me my racist tweets in context.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you came prepared. So right, go do it.
So you said that Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. This is not a difficult. You before that said Israelis like to build. Did you?
Okay, now the follow-ups, because you said the follow-ups didn't make it any better.
Well, there's separate things that you said.
No. I want
bad.
the follow-ups to that one though.
Follow-ups to that specific.
Would you like
tweet?
me to get them? I'll get them for you.
If you have them, sure. But in the meantime, do you mind if while you do that?
What was that?
Do you mind if I continue while you do that?
Well, I'd like to take them one by one. So
sure.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we delay that one until the end while I look this up from the podium in front of 600 people?
You've also said. Okay. I'll wait. So on that particular issue, you've also said that the Arab-Palestine populace is, by and large, constitutes the most evil population on the face of the planet. Before you said that you've never brought up religion when it comes to abortion, but I don't think that you've avoided religion when it comes to the Israeli conflict. And I don't know that you can be completely unbiased in the issue, given that,
Well, I can be unbiased on the subject that the Palestinians have elected 3 terrorist governments to form a unity government with the stated goal of the destruction of the state of Israel and the murder of all Jews in the area. So that I can be relatively unbiased on. As far as the idea that the Palestinian population... As far as the idea that the Palestinian population is more evil than other populations, they certainly hold more evil views than other populations by poll statistics, by how many Palestinians approve of terror attacks, by how many Palestinians voted for an actual terror group, Hamas, and another actual terror group, Palestinian Authority, and another actual terror group, the Islamic Jihad. Okay, so I don't think that all views are equal, and I don't think that people who hold evil views are necessarily good. I mean, I'm sorry if the polls don't support the idea that everyone is equally wonderful, but everyone is not equally wonderful. Okay, I'm looking up these statements now, so if you'd like to give me a second.
But you've continued, you deny secular Zionism, and you...
Quote, okay, so here, I've got them in front of me. Okay, so I'll finish that one, then we can move. Okay, ready? There are many, many Christian and Muslim Arabs who are wonderful people, just not the ones who oppose Israel in the Israel-Arab conflict. That would be the response within the same Twitter thread. Okay, in the post Israelis versus Arabs, I wrote about Arabs who take part in the Israeli-Arab conflict, as anyone who can read knows. #dumbasses. Okay, quote, I think it has much more to do with the fact that the Palestinian leadership supported by the Palestinian population uses millions for terror. I should have been more specific. Arabs who actively seek Israel's destruction. Those would be the follow-up tweets. Does that sound like a genocidal mania to you, or does it sound like I'm specifically labeling a group of people who have called for Israel's destruction?
I like to point out that you're not a racist, but they're dumbasses, and you're allowed to insult them.
Yes, also, because if someone calls me a racist without evidence, they are definitionally a dumbass.
What is genocide? Wait.
So this kid tried to use Ben Shapiro's old tweets against him, and boy did it backfire. He should have read the substance of the tweets better or more carefully before trying to use them as a catapult against Ben Shapiro during this live Q&A in front of all these people where he ended up looking silly. It's got to be said that Ben Shapiro, whether you like him or dislike him, because he's been kind of in battle recently in the Daily Wire versus Candace Owens and that whole back and forth, but he is one of the most savage people when it comes to taking down the left in real time, whether he's going on CNN or whether he is doing these massive college campus tours where it's just this, you don't know what's going to happen. It's all these candid interactions with these radical left students, and he's just on top of it. Like, Ben Shapiro is so prepared to confront and to debate any argument that the left would bring up. And in this case, they were talking about the Israel-Palestine issue, which is very relevant to the modern news cycle, what we're talking about today. Ben Shapiro said a lot of things in the past, and he continues to say things that are very staunchly pro-Israel. Clearly, he's Jewish, and he supports the Israeli side. And I just think it's interesting to see how the far left and these radical left activist types have entrenched themselves in the pro-Palestinian movement. And they've adopted that side as one of their main causes that they are putting so much energy behind, so much effort into loudly supporting, to the point where it actually is a point of weakness for the Democrat Party, because people like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, who are establishment Democrats, they don't really hold these radical left views. They kind of pretend to support them lightly, just enough to get the radicals in to vote for them. But Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's record on supporting Israel is not favorable for these radical people who support. A lot of these people borderline support Hamas when you really talk to them and really listen to what they have to say. But they're clearly pro-Palestinian. They are not supporting Kamala Harris and Joe Biden because of their support for Israel. They look at any support for Israel or any support of funding Israel, any non-active condemnation of Israel as being unacceptable. Just look at the protesters outside the DNC. This is their main issue with who the Democrats have chosen to be the candidate for president and the Biden administration over the last 4 years. These liberal Democrat protesters are cannibalizing themselves over this exact issue right now. I just think it's very interesting that it's such an important issue to them, and that the left seems to be imploding regarding Israel and Palestine, and why these kids have such an affinity for something that really doesn't affect them directly at all, right? I mean, you would think if you're a white American college kid, what does the Israel-Palestine issue really have to do with you? And maybe you have a passive interest in it or an outside support for either side, but that is the line in the sand that so many are choosing to die on. And I'm just curious, why is that the end-all be-all issue for the left seemingly right now? Is this like a top-down thing? Is this, I'm just going to speculate here and be like, is this the George Soros top-down directions that they're getting? Hey, we all care about this now. Hey, go take over your college campus and scream about this. Because I was there at Columbia when they were doing that, Columbia University, and you see all these white college kids that are very affluent, very privileged, and they're breaking into their faculty buildings, occupying them illegally, violently, destroying property, risking all of the advantages that they have in the name of Palestine. It's very bizarre to me. I don't understand it. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip in the comments. Do you think Ben Shapiro did a good job here, or do you disagree with what he said? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys again for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.